I never felt like I fully belonged to any particular side. Being able to come back to Vietnam and meet relatives that I've never met before, but only heard about in stories, it's like having a picture book come to life. Hi, my name's Andrew Lay. I'm 23 years old. I was born in Los Angeles, California, and I just moved here to Vietnam. I moved around a lot as a kid because of my family's work and personal reasons, so I never associated home with something that was physical. For me, home was always my family. You know, there's that very cliche line, home is where the heart is, but cliche as it may be, it's true. The one constant throughout all the environmental changes, the one constant has always been, I've never been without, or at the very least, I've never been far away from family. Family has always been there no matter what. So for me, even coming to Vietnam, I still have family. I'm lucky enough to have my older brother here to support me with anything that I need, you know, all the questions I have, the things that I'm confused about, the weird slang that people throw my way. And then there's the undiscovered family too. My relatives that I didn't know existed until only a few weeks ago. That has been the constant for me. That's probably the biggest linking factor between moving here and living in all the places that I've lived, is family, is having that connection. Ever since arriving in Vietnam, there's been an abundance of music, which I love, you know? You can find music just on the street, you hear people singing. If you walk down a random alleyway, you'll see people karaokeing and drinking. There's a famous guitar street somewhere in the city. But yeah, music is everywhere. And I think that, for me at least, personally, it's a really great uniting factor. It's also been a great way for me to kind of connect with local Vietnamese people here, especially people my age. It's like, oh, what are you listening to? Or like, what are the hot artists right now in Vietnam? My mom was a great singer. She was actually in the choir at church when she was living in Vietnam. And my father's a fantastic guitar player. He's self-taught. He learned by himself, probably all around these streets. So growing up, music was really important. I hear my mom sing all the time, and I saw my dad play guitar all the time. I think that it wasn't until after my father passed away that I started taking a deeper interest into Vietnamese music in particular. Because back then I didn't really care. It wasn't until that he left that I started discovering Vietnamese music, and I would read the lyrics. That was a way for me to not only practice Vietnamese, but connect with my mom, you know, during a really difficult time. You know, if there was something that I didn't understand, which was a lot, I would read the lyric and I would read it back to my mom and be like, hey mom, you know, what does this mean? Can you translate this for me? And that was a way for me to learn and connect with my mom. Growing up in America, there's this sense of biculturalism. I think it was really prevalent for me because for a long time I felt not lost, but in limbo. I never felt like I was super Vietnamese, but I never felt like I was super American either. And for those who have read the novel Sympathizer, I never felt like I fully belonged to any particular side. Being able to come back to Vietnam and meet relatives that I've never met before, but only heard about in stories, it's like having a picture book come to life. You know, all these quirks, all these mannerisms that they talk about and they describe. Like, oh, you have this from your dad, or oh, you know, you have this thing from your mom. These qualities, these quirks, these mannerisms. When they make me call back, it's really interesting. It's like, okay, that's cool. I didn't get picked up from the trash can like they said. I didn't get lumped from rack. Having the opportunity to come back here and meet my relatives, it strengthened that bond. Can't say that I feel extra Vietnamese, but there's certainly a stronger connection now than there ever was in the past. In Vietnamese, there's the term called góc, which I guess, if I were to translate it myself, means your corner or your roots, where you come from. The purpose of me coming to Vietnam was to come here to find my roots, to see where my dad grew up, to smell the things that they smelled, to hear the things that they heard, and to eat the things that they ate. The path that my dad walked, I'm sure it'll be very different, but I want to walk a similar path. And I hope that walking down that path will help me not only get closer to him and understanding him better as a person, but getting closer to my Vietnamese heritage and understanding what it means to be Vietnamese.